Very good evening to you. This is Easy Friday. My name is Shiksha Arora with my co-anchor John Kago as we take you through the top stories tonight. Remember, one of the top stories where Interior Cabinet Dr. Fred Matiang'i has declared Monday a public holiday, and this is because of the 8 electoral areas that will go to polls to elect the leaders. So in those particular areas, which include Mombasa and Kakamega, they will be a public holiday. Apart from that, remember, we'll also be telling you what's happening in the country. Apart from that, we also have business and sports, and also not forgetting, Easy Friday is back. The interview is on tonight. I'll be speaking to Savara from Sauti Sol, so make sure you don't miss out on that.
All right, time for the highlights tonight. It is a ploy for a handshake. President-elect William Ruto dismisses Azimio presidential petition, urging the Supreme Court not to entertain it. Declare me president-elect. Raila Odinga pleads to the Supreme Court in his condensed petition to be named winner in the August 9th polls. And it is the end of campaigns in Mombasa and Kakamega gubernatorial contests as government declares a mini holiday for locals to vote.
Welcome back. Now, tonight's top story. President-elect William Ruto has asked the Supreme Court to dismiss the petition by Azimio La Umoja presidential candidate Raila Odinga and his running mate Martha Karua, describing it as mere poetry, only comparable to Shakespeare's work.
Well, in a 256-page response, Ruto says it's hypocritical for Raila Odinga and Martha Karua to ask the Supreme Court to declare them winners of the presidential election, while at the same time claiming that the election was flawed and that none of the candidates met the 50% plus one threshold.
Ben Chumba reports.
On Friday, President-elect William Ruto's legal team, led by former Tharaka Nithi Senator Kithure Kindiki and Uasin Gishu woman representative-elect Gladys Sholei, filed response to the petition by Azimio La Umoja presidential candidate Raila Odinga, challenging Dr. Ruto's victory. In the 256-page response, the President-elect William Ruto says the Supreme Court has no jurisdiction to declare Raila Odinga and Martha Karua duly elected as President-elect and Deputy President-elect respectively upon the nullification of the presidential results. According to Dr. Ruto, it is insincere for Raila Odinga and Martha Karua to ask the Supreme Court to declare them winners of the presidential election, while at the same time claiming that the election was flawed and that none of the candidates met the 50+1 constitutional threshold. According to Ruto, should the Supreme Court declare the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission (IEBC) incapable of presiding over credible presidential elections, or find IEBC Chair Wafula Chebukati unfit to hold public office as sought by the petitioners, the country will find itself in a constitutional crisis. At the same time, the president-elect accused Raila Odinga of consistently disputing presidential election results and fomenting national crisis after losing presidential elections results as a means of forcing the winner to share power through unconventional and extra-constitutional government arrangements, popularly known as the handshake. Ruto further claims that Raila Odinga and Martha Karua have produced falsified logs in support of their claims on the alleged external IP address and the alleged hacking of IEBC systems, and their petition should be dismissed. Ben Chumba, Easy Friday.
Now, Azimio La Umoja presidential candidate Raila Odinga has reduced its truckload petition at the Supreme Court to merely 38 pages.
All right, now in the condensed submission, Raila Odinga wants the Apex Court to declare him president-elect in the event that a tally indicates he won the August 9th presidential election.
While seeking the intervention of the court, Raila cites massive irregularities, arguing that he believes he won the vote. Take a look.
Against 38-page submissions, Azimio la Umoja presidential candidate Raila Odinga and his running mate Martha Karua say there was interference with the system, citing lack of security, with reference to the case of the Venezuelans and penetration of the IEBC system, saying there were two different sketches to upload the forms at different times. Relying on what they say was a forensic analysis done by Professor Walter Mibani, an expert in detecting fraud, that say the two argue that the 2022 elections were marred with illegalities, and they further point out that contamination and tampering with Forms 34A, unilateral and unlawful tallying, as well as verification, saying 27 constituencies were not tallied and verified. Further, they point out inconsistencies in voter turnout, non-qualification of 50% plus one, uploading different results of Forms 34C even after declaration, voter suppression and staffing, election offences and offences against the Public Officer Ethics Act committed by IEBC Chairman Wafula Chebukati. The two now seek the Supreme Court to declare them as President and Deputy President-elect, nullify the declared results, and declare that Chebukati could not exercise the authority and duty with exclusion of the other commissioners. Serafina Robi for Easy Friday.
Now, Kenya Kwanza has expressed confidence in the Supreme Court upholding its victory in the general election.
Well, a section of the coalition's leaders maintained that they won in an election that they say was conducted in a free and fair manner.
It was at the funeral ceremony of the brother of Nyandarua women Rep. Faith Gitau at Shomata in the Ragwa constituency that the Kenya Kwanza leaders took issue with the petition filed at the Supreme Court seeking to nullify the declaration of William Ruto as the winner of the presidential election. Led by Murang'a Governor Irungu Kang'ata, who represented the president-elect William Ruto, they maintained that their victory was valid.
Hata wale ambao tunashindana nao, wananchi wa Kenya waliongea, walizungumza na wakazungumza kwa sauti kubwa. Na kila mtu amerudi kazini. Msitusumbue na maneno ya koti sijui.
The leaders insisted that the figures were available for all to tally and that the electoral body's server was never prone to outside interference.
But I can tell you, when I saw those documents and the pleadings, I realized there is no case. In fact, hata hiyo case sitaenda. Because I can tell you, as a matter of fact, we won decisively.
Na nimeweza kuongea na wabunge wengi, wananiambia zile kura za William Samoei Ruto ambazo zilitangazwa kwa constituency zao ndizo Chebukati alitangaza. Kwa hivyo nataka kusema uchaguzi Chebukati hana shida yoyote.
They, however, called for unity to enable move the country forward even as the matter pens at the Supreme Court.
Wakati wa siasa umeisha, Kenya imekuwa moja, na bado ametoa wito ya kwamba hakuna visasi wala hakuna kulipiza kisasi. Watu wakasimame kama jamii moja inayoitwa Kenya katika uongozi ambao tuna imani kubwa utakuwa chini yake si kwa muda mrefu.
All right, moving on, Interior Cabinet Secretary Dr. Fred Matiang'i has declared Monday a public holiday in 8 electoral areas that will go to the polls to elect their leaders.
Well, elections are in the 8 areas, including gubernatorial polls in Mombasa and Kakamega, have been postponed twice.
Employers around the country are requested to release their employees who are registered voters in the 2 counties, 4 constituencies and 2 wards to enable them to exercise their constitutional right.
Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission having set Monday the 29th of August as the date for elections in areas the exercise had been postponed, the national government has responded by declaring that day a public holiday in those areas. In a Gazette notice, Interior Cabinet Secretary Fred Matiang'i said the Constitution of Kenya and the Public Holidays Act allows the declaration of a public holiday for the listed electoral areas to conduct elections. This will allow voters in Mombasa and Kakamega counties elect their governors. Elections for Member of National Assembly will be held in Kacheliba, Kitui Rural, Pokot South and Rongai. The other two electoral areas are Kwanjenga Ward in Nairobi and Nyaki West Ward in Imenti North. Employers in those areas have been urged to release the employees who are registered voters to enable them exercise their constitutional right. On August 8th, the IEBC Commission had suspended the said elections over ballot paper mix-up. Opicho Chemtai for Easy Friday.
In other news, Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalition flag bearer Raila Odinga is optimistic that the Supreme Court will nullify the presidential election results.
Raila said they have gathered substantial evidence to overturn the declaration of William Ruto as president-elect.
On the last day of campaigns for the elective posts in areas where the election was postponed and scheduled for Monday 29th, Azimio la Umoja intensified vote hunting in Kakamega County, drumming up support for ODM gubernatorial candidate Fernandez Barasa.
Azimio! Governor wa Kakamega ni nani?
Speaking in Quisero, Raila Odinga reiterated that the coalition's victory was stolen, urging his supporters to stay optimistic as they wait for the Supreme Court verdict.
Tunadunga hiyo swara. Sini yetu itakuja nyumbani. Mimi nasema kaeni, temeni kama bila huzuni yoyote, bila wasiwasi. Manake sisi ni washindi, sawa?
Leaders allied to Azimio exuded confidence in the outcome of the case, saying justice will prevail.
Sisi hatuogopi. Tumesema tunataka mahakama ikague kura ile vile iko, iamue ya kwamba sisi tulishinda na tuapishwe. Mnakubaliana na hiyo?
While rallying the electorate behind Baraza, the leaders faulted the electoral body IEBC for postponing the Mombasa and Kakamega gubernatorial elections.
Mimi kama Baraza nilipeleka Chebukati kotini. Nikamwambia lazima watu wa Kakamega wachague governor. Ametupatia tarehe 29. Watu wangu wa Lurambi, ikifika Monday saa 12 asubuhi tuende kwa mlolongo tupigie Baraza kuu.
ODM's Fernandez Barasa will be battling it out with his closest competitor, Cleophas Malala of Amani National Congress, ANC. Kamchemenza for Easy Friday.
Now, the supremacy wars pitting two political coalitions, Azimio la Umoja and Kenya Kwanza, are headed to the floor of the 13th Parliament, with both coalitions gunning for the leadership of the House.
Well, a section of lawmakers from both coalitions have outlined plans to use their numbers in the House to control key positions and committees of the House.
However, it's not yet clear which coalition holds the majority seat in the August House, given 4 constituencies will elect their representatives on Monday.
After a grueling political contest, the focus is now turning to the 13th Parliament, with both Kenya Kwanza Alliance and Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Coalition Party strategizing on how to control key posts of the National Assembly and the Senate. So far, Kenya Kwanza has fronted Bungoma Senator Moses Wetangula as the Speaker of the National Assembly to take over from Justin Muturi, who has held the position since 2013.
Our duty, our focus is to ensure that we bring in as many people as possible to have a sweeping majority, to ensure that our agenda in Parliament, be it from the election of the Speaker all the way forward, we are able to complete it with a lot of ease, with the shortest time possible.
On the other hand, Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Coalition Party is proposing Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka to take over the reins from Muturi. The two coalitions are already raiding each other camps and wooing MPs elected under independent tickets in a bid to bag the Speaker's and Deputy Speaker's position that will be determined through a secret ballot after members are sworn in.
The question about speakership is one that we are grappling with, and we are on our drawing board and trying to fend off some of what appears to be an invasion by the other side. That one then is determined by majority, including independents. And I should say, when it comes to determining majority, who is majority and minority, the independents do not count.
With Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Coalition Party putting their numbers at 162 against Kenya Kwanza's 159, the 4 parliamentary elections scheduled for Monday in Pokot South, Kitui Rural, Rongai and Kacheliba will determine which coalition gets the majority party and leadership of departmental committees and which gets the minority party and the leadership of oversight committees.
But for purposes of determining how the House is constituted and structured in terms of who is majority, the law will be determined on the coalition as it was comprised, and that includes PA, it includes Chap, it includes all those other parties who are purported to go.
The UDM party, which was part of the Azimio coalition, have signed a new cooperation agreement with Kenya Kwanza. That brings another number of about 24 members of parliament from that side. That tells you something, that when all has been settled, when parliament is called, and then we do a roll call, you might be surprised that Kenya Kwanza has an outstanding majority.
But remember, some of those people who are purporting to have moved, they are moving based on what they think is a wave that the deputy president has been declared president-elect. But assuming that the Supreme Court reverses this, we foresee a situation in which some of those people will do an about turn and come back. And we may eventually even win some of the people in the Kenya Kwanza corner.
In the Senate, Kenya Kwanza Alliance commands a slim lead of 24-22 majority, giving the alliance an outright majority. The political supremacy battle comes at a time when the National Assembly concluded a 2-day induction exercise for members-elect. Gishoki Washira, Prime Edition.
All right, and with that, it's time for us to take our first commercial break. But we will be back with more news, business, as well as sports in just a moment. Don't go too far.
Nairu ukwe maskini lakini ukwe mzima. Ukiwa na health mzuri, shukuru Mungu.
Some of them don't even understand the kind of sickness that they are suffering from. But thank you, because through Mama here, we have seen the hand of God.
Nashukuru, nilitibiwa, sasa naendelea kupona.
Lakini mlisupport, nikaweza kupona, sasa niko na raha. Mungu awabariki.
Nimerecover kabisa, niko na furaha sana.
The only show that is transforming lives. Mungu akubariki na Mungu akuzidishie.
Karibuni sana to the Second Chance TV game show.
Tough questions.
Virunga National Park is located within which mountain ranges? Aberdare. Aberdare, is that your final answer?
Tough challenges.
Nona teammate yako kweli. 3, 2, 1.
It's a survival for the smartest.
10 seconds to go. Who is the current president of Malawi?
Jakaya Kikwete.
Wrong answer. That is the wrong answer. Does it border to the east? Nakuru County. Nakuru County, you get 2,000 bob.
Premiering soon on Channel 1.
What is going on with you?
I'll break my record again and again.
One drink and I'll let you go. He's not your child.
Your wife is worried. Get up.
She can wait. I have a life.
You think I'm stupid, quiet? No chance to stupid, man.
Welcome back. Moving on with this live broadcast. Now, top contenders in the Mombasa gubernatorial race have been combing the county, trying their last-minute charm, offensive to woo votes ahead of the mini poll on Monday.
Well, the candidates rallied the electorate to turn up in large numbers to exercise their right with promises to transform the economic frontier of the coastal town.
Residents of Mombasa will enjoy a holiday on Monday to exercise their civic duty of electing their governor.
The Mombasa gubernatorial candidates sought endorsements from Gema, Luya and Kamba communities ahead of the election slated for Monday. ODM gubernatorial hopeful Abdul Somad Nasir, accompanied by former Kitui Governor Charity Ngilu, as well as a host of Azimio elected leaders, sought block support from the Akamba and Gema communities residing in Mombasa, rallying the electorate to support Nasir's bid.
Politics is about good leadership. Politics is not about sasa naona watu wanaenda upande huu niende. Politics is about leading people the right way.
With a promise to revitalize the economic of the port town, the former Mvita legislator also met traders in Kongoya before mounting his final rally in Mwembetayari, Mvita constituency.
Atahakikisha ya kwamba watu wa Kanjo, wa Siaras, wana biashara, na atahakikisha protect hii soko.
Tumetembea naye hapa kwa soko, tumeona ile uchafu uko pale nje, na tumemwomba kwa heshima akiingia aoshe hii soko ikuwe mzuri.
Sichague mtu ya sarakasi
kabisa,
sichague mtu ya utoto
kabisa
kama yule mwingine. Nyinyi mnamtambua vile sisi tunamtambua,
ndio hivyo.
Mtampa kura Jumatatu
mapema.
Wale waliotokea namba 2 wako na mimi, waliotokea namba 3 wako na mimi, wale viongozi wa kutoka nje ya Mombasa wako na mimi, sure. Na muhimu zaidi wananchi wako na Abdulswamad Sharif Nasir.
His main contender, Hassan Omar, vying on an UDA ticket, spent the better part of Friday morning wooing residents of Majengo in Vita constituency before holding a rally in Nyali constituency after being buckled by the Luya community in the area.
Tunataka kura zichungwe na nyinyi. Mpige kura mtuchungie. Saa 10 mimi nitakuwa Makupa primary pale. Nihakikishe kituo changu ni Sarai.
Jumatatu inayokuja twende juu chini, tuhakikishe kwamba gavana wa pili wa Mombasa anatoka katika mrengo gani?
Nguvu za kiuchumi, nguvu za kisiasa, muwekeze hapa Mombasa.
The two candidates urging their supporters to turn up in large numbers to vote on Monday as they pledge to realize the development agenda of the coastal town.
Hii si kura ya 60s, hii si kura nyingine yote, hii ni kura ya maisha ya Mombasa na maisha ya watoto wetu.
Juni Karisa Mbele from Mombasa County.
Now, 3 people perished in a road accident at Ndarene in Imenti, South Meru County on the Meru-Nairobi highway.
Well, the accident occurred when a school bus belonging to Kamiguru Education Center and a lorry collided head-on.
Both drivers and a student perished in this accident.
Well, the bus had 6 students and a teacher. 5 students who survived were taken to Consolata Nkubo Hospital. Ndarene Chief Isabella Mutura confirmed the accident and joined residents in appealing to the government to take action and arrest road carnage in those particular areas.
Sinakuanga hapa accidenti mingi, tumesumbuka na accidenti kila siku, hata wiki haiishi bila kupata accident hapa. Ombi letu kwa serikali ni waangalie hii njia waipanue, juu accident zimekuwa mingi hapa.
Imekuwa ni kama black spot, sababu mara mingi hapa magari mingi tumeitoa hapa kwa hii mto, na hii barabara hapa inaitwa Unja Factory. Kwa hivyo serikali inafaa ichukulie hatua kama watu wa Kenya, juu ni wao wako na ujuzi wa kujua vile barabara sasa washughulikie, ndio hizi azari tuweze kupunguza azari hapa.
Hiyo school bus ni area yangu hapo nyumbani tu, nikasikia ilikuwa na watoto, lakini we thank God because ilikuwa imebeba watoto wengi, ilikuwa na 6 of them Mmoja ameaga au wengine wamepelekwa hospitali, na hata drivers wote wawili wa lori ambaye ilikuwa imebeba mchanga hata yeye ameenda.
Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission Chairman Wafula Chebukati has urged criminal investigative agencies to probe the murder of Embakasi East returning officer Daniel Musyoka and prosecute the perpetrators of the heinous act.
Well, Chebukati spoke today during the burial of Musyoka in Mudaveni, Mwala Sub-County. That's in Machakos County.
Grief engulfed Muwani village, Mudaveni, Mwala Sub-County, Machakos County. Relatives, friends, and Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission staffers came together to mourn David Mbolu Musyoka. His widow, Tabitha Mbolu, eulogized him as a humorous man who instilled virtues of honesty and integrity.
I shall keep the sweet memories and the beautiful moments we shared as a family. You instilled in us virtues like integrity, honesty, hard work, and generosity.
The late Musyoka's children, Prudence and Isaac, remember their father as wise and caring.
You are our biggest fan and greatest role model. The solution to our problems, always having witty answers to our questions, pouring generously from your well of wisdom. Distance is the one thing that keeps us apart, but that will remain in our hearts.
IBC workers led by Chair Wafula Chebukati urging the government to ensure security of officials of the electoral body is enhanced.
One cannot begin to imagine the peril of the IPC staff suffer or go through tucked away in the corners of the country. I call upon the Inspector General of Police, the Director of Criminal Investigations, and the Director of Public Prosecutions to move with speed to investigate and charge the perpetrators of these election offences, which were geared towards subverting the will of the Kenyan people.
Musyoka, who was the IBC returning officer for Embakasi East, was found murdered in Oloitoktok, Kajiado County days after he had been reported missing.
Utafuta haitarudisha Musyoka wetu, but itasaidia wengine wasiuliwe, because probably kama wangekuwa kama wakati Musando waliuliwa, who knows, hakuna connections na all these murders, who knows. Now
tuangalie wale wanafanya majukumu ambao ni sensitive kama IEBC wakati wa uchaguzi, wawe Inspector General of Police anafanya kazi yake kuwapa usalama unaofaa.
The passing on of Daniel Musyoka and the mysterious deaths of other IBC officials has raised many questions on the security of IBC officials on and after the general election, with calls of enhancement of the security being a key concern. Reporting for Easy Friday from Mudaveni, Mwala Sub-County, Machakos County, my name is Frederick Mwoki.
Still taking a look at the counties, a 33-year-old man has been burnt beyond recognition in his house at Map Clinic Estate in Busia County.
Elsewhere, Kenya Wildlife Service rangers have captured a marauding cheetah found preying on domestic animals in Ruai here in Nairobi.
This story and more in our county news wrap.
Residents of Ruai in Nairobi County woke up to find a cheetah preying on their domestic animals. They managed to cage it until rangers from the Kenya Wildlife Service arrived and ferried it to safety. Residents are decrying the high numbers of wild animals in the area, such as hyenas, hippopotamus, and crocodiles found in the Nairobi Sewer Plant in Ruai and its environs.
Kuna hiyo hali ya hatari katika maeneo ya Ruai. Ya ombi langu nisiweze kupunguzwa, maana niko hapa nilikuja hapa 1994. Kwa hivyo niko na miaka almost 30 hapa Ruai. Kwa hivyo watu wengi wamejaribu wanaenda wanalima, lakini zile hippo zinakuja na zinaharibu chakula mahali pale. So ombi langu ni ya kwamba siweze kupunguzwa na ili maisha ikaweza kuendelea, na pia zimeumiza watu.
A 33-year-old man has been burnt beyond recognition in his house at Map Clinic Estate in Busia County. Neighbors fear the deceased was the victim of an accidental fire that might have been caused by a lit cigarette he forgot to put out. It is alleged that George Otieno, a hard boy, came home last night while drunk.
Kusikia mtu analia, woi, munisaidie. Kuangalia naona uko ndani moto imewaka, moshi ni mingi, mtu analia ndani na hakuna mtu karibu, na nilikuwa peke yangu. Sasa nikaanza kupiga nduru. Kidogo ndio wakaenda wakafungua gate. Watu wenye walikuwa kwa gate wakakuja, ndio wakaanza kusaidiana na sisi.
And learning was disrupted in Kasaka Primary School, Baringo North Sub-County, after pupils and parents took to the streets to protest the alleged unbecoming conduct of the school's deputy head teacher. They marched to the Ministry of Education offices in Kabartonjo, where they demanded disciplinary action taken against Jeremiah Tarus.
Apeleke huyo mwalimu ndio sisi wasasi na watoto tupate amani. Watoto wengine wanabuguswa huko. Sasa kwa sababu anachukia msasi, anabugusa mtoto, alafu mwalimu mkuu akijaribu kuongea anamwambia ni nini unaongea? Alafu komiti anataka watu wake wa familia yake. Alafu anasema ati old committee hatutaki kusikia, shule ni yetu.
Elsewhere, women political leaders are calling for the appointment of more women in public service. Pamela Ateka, the chair lady of the caucus, says more women contested various seats in the general election than in previous years, and those who did not win should be accommodated in other areas.
We have contributed as a caucus. We have contributed to having the largest number of women included in the ballot in the history of Kenya. And by making this contribution, that's why we are asking and we are pleading and we are demanding that women should be included in the public service.
Jacinta Nyambura for Easy Friday.
Now, the swearing in of the newly elected governors and their deputies this week has seen different kinds of ceremonial drama across the country.
Well, savage netizens have had their fair share of entertainment from every corner of Kenya, covered up with the sizzling hot gossip about the elected governors' lifestyle and families as well. Here is the Social Media Weekly.
What a colorful week it has been. A week that has seen a couple of netizens amazed. But what is this that's amazing savage netizens? Well, let's take a look. The glitz and glamour that characterized the swearing-in of victors of gubernatorial seats in the August 9th polls elections topped the trends this week. From amazing entertainment by traditional singers to modern entertainment by this generation renowned finest musicians, newly elected governors joined the dancers. A great time indeed to celebrate their wins. But the show has just begun. Koti Moja, also known as Jonathan B for the sake of formality, is apparently a legendary horse rider, as exemplified by his stylish arrival at his swearing-in. Garissa Finest tweeted, Koti Moja arriving in style to his swearing-in ceremony. However, while we are still dwelling on the exquisite baddest rides in town, Susan Kihika's Land Rover Defender has got the ravaging attention of the savage netizens who are in total admiration. Moturi tweeted, Land Rover Defender P400 is the official vehicle for Nakuru Governor Her Excellency Susan Kihika. To which Elvis responded, anataka could defend people of Nakuru County. Wah? Damn! And when Susan walked in with her husband to the event, it left Henry with one question eating him up. He tweeted, "Bwana ya woman governor huitwa aje? First gentleman ni kuuliza tu."
Stop it. Get some help.
But for those focused on her dressing code, this is what they had to say. Ulemse tweeted, "Hiyo nguo ya kihika usione hivyo, nasikia ni 500,000.
What are you saying? What are you saying? What is he saying?
Kisiagi responded, "Wa, na nilikuwa nimeiona hivyo bro." Ibrahim, totally bamfuzzled by these two, wrote, "Africa and Africans for you." Nairobi Governor Johnson Sakaja's daughter may have stolen his father's show after getting tangled up with the colorful ribbons during his swearing in. Bill Like tweeted, "Mtoto ya governor hawezi ambiwa kitu." Hey, laughing emoji. Andrew, she is really entertaining the judge there. Bensoni, haogopi kanjo. Elmand, hao ndio wale watoto wanarukia mgeni in the name of let kids be kids. D, oh, ati highs emoji. Morgan, kids will always be kids. Ozo, breaking. A child plays during her father's swearing-in ceremony. Well, that's it for us this Friday. Catch you next week on Savage Netizens. For Easy Friday, I am Teresa Mutai.
Kupata Zaburi 18 mstari wa pili, dial *811 *817#. Mwenyezi Mungu ni mwamba wangu, ngome yangu na mkombozi wangu. Mungu wangu, mwamba wangu ninayemkimbilia ninapohitaji kuwa salama. Zaburi 18 mstari wa pili. Zaburi 18 mstari wa pili, dial *811 *817#. *811 *817#.
Differently. We have tried to create an environment where people come and they feel safe, and we have called all the medics in one place so they don't have to go all over the place. So we've called the medics from the Ministry of Health, and we have the National Council, right?
And being desperate for attention, I really wanted to maintain them. So I had to come up with a lie.
We're differently abled, differently.
Wiki hii kwenye mkulima.
Kipanda mti huwa haina stress nyingi, ikishakuwa ni ku harvest tu. Every week na harvest napata pesa, every after a week napata pesa.
Hata wewe huna budi kuanza kilimo hicho.
Ungana nasi Jumapili saa 9:30 hapa KBC Channel 1 Kondo kamili.
Well, I hope that you're having an easy Friday. We now take a look at today's business news. My name is Caroline Jenger. Now, the first consignment of fresh avocados from Kenya has hit the Chinese market, marking the very first such export from the continent. Kenya is seeking to export 100,000 tons of avocados to China annually as it seeks to dethrone Peru as the largest exporter of avocado to China in the next 5 years.
The fresh avocado consignment that was flagged off from Limuru, Kiambu County 3 weeks ago has been received in China. The fresh avocado export comes after China relaxed rules from export of frozen fruits to allow shipment of raw avocados from Kenya after only one exporter managed to meet the requirements. Kenya Export Promotion and Branding Agency CEO Wilfred Marube is urging small and medium avocado farmers to familiarize themselves with the phytosanitary export standards to reduce cases of interception of exported produce.
We are going to see more investments in agro-processing because as we increase export of fresh avocados, our basis has always been to encourage value addition and agro-processing of the same.
Currently, 15 exporters have met the rules and have been licensed to export to the Chinese market. The government is negotiating with China to exempt Kenyan avocados from the 7% import duty as Kenya seeks to dislodge Peru as the largest avocado exporter to China.
It's a huge market for Kenya, not just for avocados, but for other products. Like one of our best products are the mangoes. We have passion fruits and other fresh vegetables. So it's a huge opportunity.
A delegation from Malaysia is currently in the country to carry out a pest risk analysis with a view of allowing importation of the fruit from Kenya. This is after Indian officials also visited Kenya on a similar mission.
We believe this will help narrow the balance of trade that right now is in the favor of China. So this is something that's very important, and we know that the impact is going to affect everybody within the value chain.
Hibak Said for Easy Friday.
Now, China has left out Kenya from the list of African countries that will receive a loan waiver under a plan by the Asian country to help 17 least developed states burdened by huge loans. The elevation of the country to the middle income status has informed the decision by China to overlook Kenya as the beneficiaries of those receiving the debt relief.
The debt crossed the 8 trillion shillings mark, and China is among the leading foreign creditors, followed by World Bank. According to the Central Bank of Kenya, the country's public debt stood at 8.2 trillion shillings as of December last year. China is the biggest external lender to Kenya, accounting for 67% of total external debt, mainly infrastructure financing, including the loan for construction of the standard gauge railway between Mombasa through Nairobi to Naivasha. Kenya owed the third largest amount of money to China in Africa after Angola and Ethiopia. Angola is leading with a debt of $25 billion, which is about 2.9 trillion shillings. Ethiopia followed with 1.6 trillion shillings and Kenya with 946 billion shillings. China has waived debt owed by 17 countries for 23 interest-free loans that were due in 2021, and Kenya is not on the list. China made the announcement during the forum on China-Africa cooperation that seeks to boost ties between China and its African allies. Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi said at the forum the debt relief plan demonstrates China's commitment to fostering stronger economic ties with the African continent. China cancelled debt due to interest-free loans worth $113.8 billion that matured in 2020 for 15 African countries, including Botswana, Burundi, Rwanda, Cameroon, the DRC, and Mozambique.
A cooperative society in Baringo County has embarked on value addition initiative targeting to increase income for dairy farmers. The cooperative is processing and packaging the milk supplied by farmers who are the shareholders.
According to the World Bank, women form 60% of the total agriculture workforce in Kenya. However, women have been earning less from agricultural activities when compared to their male counterparts due to, among others, low land ownership among women and inadequate financing. To address this, Baringo Agricultural Marketing Services Cooperative Limited has come up with an initiative that ensures that couples involved in dairy farming share proceeds from milk sales. Under the arrangement, couples deliver milk jointly to the cooperative but open separate accounts.
We just tell the family, we would not want to interfere with that. With all that, can you agree on a ratio as a family so that it will be harmonious when both of them sit down and agree on a ratio?
The management of the SACCO believes this would ensure that each party is financially independent. However, the amount to be shared is agreed upon by the couple, who then inform the SACCO the sharing formula. Through the proceeds from milk sales, women have purchased shares in the SACCO and even taken up leadership roles.
Tuko na accounts huko Torongo. Mzee ako na yake. Pia mimi niko na account yangu. Maziwa tunakama asubuhi. Tunagawa, anabeba kwa namba yake. Pia mimi nabeba kwa namba yangu. Mambo ya nyumbani tulikuwa na challenge, lakini ilinisaidia pale.
Through this project, women have secured finances to purchase more cattle and steadily change the perception in the area that only men can own cows.
Ukitaka success kwa boma, lazima pia mama afurahie. Huwezi ukawa successful peke yako, not unless muwe successful pamoja. Hakuna success ya mtu mmoja.
From the milk venture, 359 families have diversified their agricultural ventures beyond the dairy industry. Benson Rioba reporting for Prime Edition.
Thank you, Benson Rioba, for that report. Last but not least, Absa Kenya made 6.3 billion shillings in net profit during the first 6 months of this year, representing a 13% year-on-year increase driven by accelerated lending as the economy continued to recover from COVID-19 disruptions. Shareholders will pocket an interim dividend payout of 20 cents per share.
During the first 6 months of this year, Absa Bank Kenya saw its net loans and advances increasing by 19.49% from 218.72 billion shillings to 261.54 billion shillings. In addition, the lender's stock of government securities increased by 16.37% from 77.06 billion shillings to 89.68 billion shillings. This helped Absa Bank Kenya earn 13.35 billion shillings in interest income from loans and advances, as well as 4.55 billion shillings as interest income from government securities. The lender booked 14.43 billion shillings as the net interest income, which in addition to 6.48 billion shillings in total non-interest income, pushed the total operating income to 20.91 billion shillings.
What I think is exciting for us is that, as you can see from the slide here, when we look at the trend, we're accelerating the growth of our revenues. And our revenue base has grown by over 10 billion shillings over the years. And that's largely off not just organic growth, but investments like I indicated in new business streams. And that has brought us to be much more a financial services group rather than just a bank, with our much broader proposition set that I mentioned earlier.
On the other hand, the total operating expenses increased from 9.89 billion shillings to 11.79 billion shillings on account of increased loan loss provision. The lender increased the loan loss provision by 52.16% to 2.96 billion shillings after the gross non-performing loans increased by 7.88% to 19.79 billion shillings.
So remember what I mentioned, the yield curve picking up, the interest rate environment in the country picking up. You'll be able to see that we've managed to contain that, changes in cost of funds. So picking up by only 10 basis points from 2.3% 1 year ago to about 2.4% in this financial period.
The lender has proposed an interim dividend payout of 20 cents per share. Ndusamo Kami for Easy Friday.
Now to business stories from across the globe. California plans to ban the sale of new petrol-only vehicles from the year 2035, marking a historical step in the state's attempts to tackle climate change. The new rules aim to force car makers to accelerate the introduction of the market for cleaner vehicles. Here are the details of that story and more.
The transposition from petrol vehicles to electric vehicles is an important move as California is the most populous state in the U.S. and one of the biggest world economies. Under the rules issued by the California Air Resources Board, 35% of new vehicles sold in the state must be electric, hybrid or hydrogen powered by 2026. The regulations would apply to 68% of vehicle sales by 2030 and 100% by 2035. The new rules still have to be approved by the U.S. government before they can take effect. However, the Alliance for Automotive Innovation, which represents car makers including General Motors, Volkswagen and Toyota, said more is needed to be done to boost demand for electric vehicles. Meanwhile, a household in England, Wales and Scotland using a typical amount of gas and electricity currently pay about £2,000 a year. That annual bill is predicted to soar to more than £3,500, leaving many struggling or unable to pay. Charities and suppliers have urged ministers to improve support measures, which currently include a £400 rebate for all households. A further increase in bills is predicted when the subsequent cap takes effect in January, with a typical bill forecast to peak at well over £5,000 later next year. The UK wholesale gas prices jumped by £82 to £580 per therm, their highest level in 5 months, amid uncertainty about European and Russian supplies. Finally, Japanese wages are unlikely to grow as much as nationwide consumer prices over the coming year. In a sign of further gloom, the world's third largest economy will likely expand at a much weaker pace than previously thought this quarter, as it braces for fallout from a slowdown in the United States, China, and Europe. Japan's average wages have hardly risen since the early 1990s and were the lowest among G7 economies last year. According to the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, Japan's nominal wages are highly unlikely to outgrow the overall year-on-year inflation rate over the coming 12 months.
A roundup brings to a close business news for tonight, but do not go anywhere. Richard Munga is coming up next with a sports update. Have a great weekend. My name is Caroline Jenga.
Good boys gone bad. Eric Omondi has evolved from being a comedian to now being the king clout chaser.
How does a gospel artist make money?
Jaguar wept again. Anaweza kuwa celeb, anaweza kuwa na followers, but it's a time for artists to make bank. Yes. How is your relationship with Zari, considering that she dates young? These are accessories. They do not make... Slap the guy.
Yo, what's up? My name is Ted Josiah.
Mashallah.
You sing about serious issues, it will not trend. If you sing about Abdiambosi.
Now. Bahati hata kuwa na machozi. Willy Paul ndo alikuwa anatoa machozi.
For your beat these boys with stones. Let's all be logic. Yesu ashukangi chini analeta pesa.
Musicians are missing the point.
Do we sip water?
You are watching Pop Culture with Adhiambo with a Y.
Life cannot always be too serious.
Yeah, man, what's up here?
Allah?
We've got to take some time off and laugh, 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 and laugh. And we tickle you down with lots of laughter.
That's why I'm saying I'm who is who.
Huh? With satire like no other.
Tell him to bring it on.
Dakajapa.
Oh, good evening. This is the KBC Sports Update with me, Richard Munga.
Now, the national women's netball team defeated Botswana 57-49 to finish fifth at the Africa Netball World Cup qualifiers in Pretoria, South Africa. The win was in vain as Kenya missed out on a chance to qualify for the 2023 World Cup after being bundled out after their loss to Malawi on Tuesday. The Kenyan women began the qualifiers on a low note, losing to Zambia 47-30 on Sunday before suffering a humiliating 72-31 loss to Malawi. Their efforts, however, paid off in their last group match against Eswatini, winning 52-36. The match against Eswatini was called off with less than 5 minutes remaining due to a power failure, and Kenya was declared winners. The 2023 Netball World Cup will be held from the 28th of July to the 6th of August in South Africa. Meanwhile, 2018 Commonwealth bronze winner Christine Ongare was among notable boxers that advanced to the finals of the National Africa Boxing Trials Championship, which was held at Kaloleni Social Hall in Nairobi. The event entered the second day Friday and will culminate tomorrow with the announcement of the final hit squad, which will represent Kenya at the 2022 Africa Boxing Championship that is scheduled for the 9th till the 18th of September in Maputo, Mozambique.
Christine Ongare sailed through after overcoming Mary Christine in 3 rounds of their minimum 48 kg bout. In another women's result, Lorna Kusa advanced to the final following a referee's decision to stop her fight against Frieza Ahuko.
Nataraji kesho finali, nicheze finali nishinde, ndio niende Maputo. Maputo pia Mungu asaidie na pia mimi niweke bidii nishinde. Ushindi ndio kila mtu anataka.
Hit squad head coach Benjamin Musa expressed his satisfaction with the standards of play exhibited by the boxers.
Tunaendelea vizuri leo ikiwa ni siku ya semifinali. Tunaona kwamba mabondia walikuwa wamejitayarisha, isipokuwa muda ulikuwa mfupi sana, notice ilikuwa mfupi, lakini tunaona kwamba kuna prospects ambao wanaweza kumake team ya taifa.
After the conclusion of the trial Saturday, a team of 24 pugilists, 12 male and 12 female across 12 weight categories will be selected ahead of the Maputo Championship.
Hapo tunaangalia uzoefu wa bondia kwa kustahimili mchezo huu, na pia tunaangalia skills zake, na pia awe mzuri ashinde mwenzake.
For Channel 1 Sports, this is Eddie Makina.
To other matters now, the national men's cricket team beat Nepal by 18 runs during the second match of their ongoing T20 International Series match played at the Gymkhana Sports Club in Nairobi. Kenya avenged the loss they suffered against Nepal on the opening day of the championship. Nepal won their toss and decided to bowl. Kenya registered 132 runs in 19 overs, and in reply, Nepal registered 114 runs in 19.2 overs to suffer their first loss in the 5-day series. The result tied the two teams at 1-1, with the third match set for Sunday at the same venue. Now, across the borders now, the draw for the 2022-2023 UEFA Europa League was conducted today in Istanbul, Turkey. English Premier League side Arsenal have been pulled in Group A alongside that side PSV Eindhoven, Bodo and Zurich. On the other hand, Manchester United will play against Spanish side Real Sociedad, sharing Well, that's all we have for sports tonight. Just an update, of course. Tomorrow, the EPL and other major leagues in Europe continue. Obviously, Manchester United are kicking off match day 4 against Southampton. Chelsea will be up against Leicester City. Manchester City will be up against, of course, Crystal Palace. And in the early kick-off match, you have Arsenal hosting Fulham, of course, at the Emirates Stadium. That's it from me. Do have a good night.
All right, after the sporting update for Easy Friday, time to wrap up the first part of Easy Friday. Many thanks indeed for choosing us. You're crossing over to the second part, and that's the spotlight, a good one tonight. One member of the Sauti Soul group, Savara, well, they split. No, they did not go separate ways. Savara is in studio. A good one, is that right?
Can't wait to hear more from him. Remember, he has officially released his album, and this is something that he's really looking forward to. He's got songs coming up, and apart from that, you know, we're going to talk about how he keeps things balanced. So, if you know what I mean, yeah, make sure you stay right here, because that's happening on the other side of this break. Don't go too fast. Savara live in studio right here on KBC Channel 1. Hashtag Easy Friday. Keep the comments coming in. Tell us any questions you have for Savara, and we'll make sure we shoot them at him and we get him to answer anything you want to know about him.
Yeah. How is it like working solo? Can you ask that question for me?
Okay, got it. Savara.
All right, thank you.
Sure you can hear this.
All right, my name is John Kago. Good night.
Sauti soli na dieria kumechacha. Karibuni kwenye extravaganza. Benzoli alipofika alifunika. Wakaja na madrama, sinema zetu ni telenovela. Wakasunda mizinga, hawakujua situko mavela. Wakaita polisi, kumbe polisi pia ni shabiki. Wakaficha msosi, wakatupata na dishi mezani. Rumba imetamba, sauti soli na dieria kumechacha. Kila kona yoyo kwenye extravaganza, na pili alipofika alifunika. Walifunga milango, wakatupata tuko ndani nao. Wakaita makanjo, kumbe ni sisi huwalipa sala wao. Wakazima mitambo, shabiki wakabaki kwenye dance floor. Na iwe funzo kwao, tunaongoza wanafuata nyayo. Rumba imetamba, sauti soli na dieria kumechacha. Karibuni kwenye extravaganza, na pistola alipofika alifunika. Leo siku yako ya kuzaliwa, kula na kunywa na kusazama. Leo niiteni mheshimiwa, baba freshi marashi nimejaa. Maheta wako pale kwenye kona, macho pembeni wakitazama. Ila usiogope, choma picha, kesi baadaye hesabu lawama. Don't be crying on your body, mama. Tell them it's your birthday. Stay away from bad vibes and know the drama. Tell them it's your birthday. Go ahead and dip it low, drop it low for your homeboy mama. Tell them it's your birthday. Do what you wanna and be who you wanna, forgive and let it come. Manika wangu hapa nyuma, ukileta shida utapigwa faa. Wengine mavela, wengine jaba, wengine zote wamezichanganya. Mamanzi wenyu wanatusorora, ukika vibaya tunapita na mviri baby bado storyteller. Universal charger striker number 9. Don't be crying on your body, mama. Tell them it's your birthday. Stay away from bad vibes and know the drama. Tell them it's your birthday. Go doing for the weekend.
Hey baby, tonight on my here weekend and it go easy. I want this turn up to be different. I like it when you get into my deep end.
Tukeleleza madhalani lodi na madrama na kichwani umejaza mawazo. Niko tayari kusarenda na kusema na kutenda ila tu wewe unipe mkono. Baby, let's roll out. Wanna have a conversation, maybe roll one. Take you somewhere higher, give you more life. I've been really, really feeling your flavor, sana. Girl, let's go and
roll on. I'll give you everything you need and more. I say you did like to kick it on the low. I know you wanna get a taste of my flavor, sana. Boy next door. All the time you've been there, lover, staring me in my face. Yeah. He's the boy next door where they slowly steal my heart away. Baby, by the way, I hear say you're looking for a sexy cat. The kind way to take away your fever, yeah. The kind way to rub your belly all night long.
On the down low, I've been loving them. Minado changu enzi za maziwa ya nyayo. Niko tayari kukupenda January to December, hold my hand and don't let me go now. Baby, let's roll out. Wanna have a conversation, maybe roll one. Take you somewhere higher, give you more life. I've been really, really feeling your flavor, sana. Girl, let's go
and we roll on. I'll give you everything you need and more. I say you did like to kick it on the low. I know you wanna get a taste of my flavor, sana. Boy next door.
It's you. I think I'm falling for you. Doing shit I never do. I think I'm crazy for you. I think I'm crazy. Yeah. Leaving my homies for you. Coming home early to you. I'm going right over you. Wanauliza kama Kenya kuko sawa, nikawajibu Kenya tuko na disaster. Watoto wetu wanazidi kuzikana, na tomboya ameshika tama, alituacha kama angali kijana. Je, angekuwa mambo yangekuwa sawa? Ndivyo walivyopanga Maulana. Deni mulizoacha bado tunalipa, na tumekopa zingine China, tukajenga reli pia barabara. Zilizobaki watu wakasanya. So tujiangalie, tuko pabaya leo kuliko jana. Sikio la kufa halisikii dawa. Tuko kwa Twitter tunajibizana. Tujiangalie.
This is KBC Channel 1. Welcome to the show. Now, I've told Savara this before. Like, I've waited for this day for a long time. I've been wanting to interview Saudi Soul for the longest time. And I've been reaching out almost every week. But you know what? I managed to get a quarter of them. But it's okay. Yeah. They say, you always have to wait for the good things, right, Savara? Yeah. And I'm glad you're finally here. Asante sana for coming on board.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for sitting on my hot seat.
Ouch. And they say, like, it's better quarter a loaf than no bread, you know?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so
I'm grateful that you're here.
Asante.
And, you've honored my invites and you have come and performed and you've done your thing and you're a fantastic dancer.
Yes, yeah, because also, like, I was a dancer before, like, I played drums, so rhythm is in my life, it's my blood, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, and also, like, your energy. Like, I love this show. Whenever I see you and you're dancing everywhere, you just ooze good vibes.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I hope my boss is watching, waiting for a raise, but it's okay.
Thank you.
We'll wait. So, Savara, tell me, you said that you were a dancer and you were a drummer before you actually ended up becoming a singer. So how did that transition happen?
It's just process. I was a dancer when I was like after high school.
Okay.
In high school, actually, I was singing, yeah, but dancing was mainly the thing I was doing after high school. I used to dance to gospel music.
Wow.
Yeah, to Kendezima Christian kind of events.
Yes.
Alafu, that's when like I was listening to melodies. Zinaingia kwa akili, dance kwa akili. Alafu, I picked up drumming in high school.
Okay.
So rhythm just ikaingia tu kwa damu alafu.
Here you are.
Yeah, everything has just been timely and I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm thankful.
But you have a fantastic voice. Why did you not think of becoming a singer before actually ending up to become a dancer? What's your stronger, what's your strength? Singing or dancing?
Singing.
So why dance before singing?
Also, like growing up, dancing was, people in my estate, watu walikuwa na dance sana. Everyone was just all over the place dancing. And you know, dancing is very physical.
Yeah.
And at that age, you know, your
energy,
everywhere
yes.
on a show. So we had a dancing group.
Okay.
That's where you used to connect, socialize. So that was the first priority. Like, I wasn't the best dancer in that group.
Okay.
The other people were even way better than me.
Yeah.
But music was in me. Alafu nikaanza tu kuimba, getting into studios here and there, napatiwa mic, and then, oh wait, this nigga can sing. Alafu ikaenda tu hivyo.
So how did Sauti Sol happen for you?
We met in high school.
Okay.
Yeah, we met in high school. I met BN Chimano in Form 1.
So you guys go a long way back.
Those are my boys. We were friends even before the music.
That's amazing.
Yeah, we played together. We played soccer together. You see now socialization in high school where you're trying to find when mzuri wapi.
Yes.
What are you good at? Then we found ourselves always going to the music club. After studies, we found ourselves to a music class. Alafu tunaimba pamoja. We're like, this thing could actually work. Then immediately after high school, we started being invited for weddings.
You were just performing.
Yeah, funerals, you know, everything. So we're like, okay, this thing can actually make sense. We earn a little bit of money. We take a little bit of girls out there.
Yeah.
And I realized, this thing can actually pay.
Yeah.
So that process, ikaendelea tu hivyo, boom, boom, boom. And here I am,
Wow, that's incredible. So, you know, I feel like it's very important to have a good relationship with the people that you work with. And since you're a band, you know, you need to be able to have good working terms with each and every band member. And it kind of makes sense because when you're on stage, you just gel with each other so well. And I feel like that's something that's not just happened off late because of experience, but it's been going on as you guys were friends. So your friendship is very important. Do you guys fight?
Yeah. But only on matters that are music related, because we were friends first.
Yeah.
Yani kitu tulifanya tu be natural. It's by natural selection actually. Alafu ni synergy. We are not a manufactured group. You know how many groups so many groups are manufactured. Ile mnaleta pamoja. Someone has a different personality, different background. But the fact that we were friends first, we always say that is a blessing. And our greatest achievement as Sauti Sol is staying together.
I love that. Your greatest
leave alone the music. It's just staying together, being a family. That's
all these years.
Through
ups and downs, through COVID and all, through a whole pandemic.
Crazy.
It's been crazy.
It's been crazy, but blessed. We're blessed.
I love that. You know, now you have your own single, you know, Balance. You you have an album with 14 songs, and this is something that you've put your heart, mind, soul into. And let me ask you a question. Why is it that now is when you've realized, okay, I need to have my own single. I need to come across as also a brand myself, as Savara. Why didn't you think of this earlier on? Why now?
It's a timely thing.
Okay.
Also, we respect the process, because I think before we weren't mature enough to be able to execute such an idea, because you know, with the public pressure and everything. Growing up and maturing, you have to understand that you have to be also yourself. And I think we are at the age where we are mature enough to be able to handle this. If this happened when we were 21, 22, unafura kichwa. Haraka sana, man. Fame inakuja, unaona wende ule mdeadly. But now,
you're mature.
We are mature. You understand the fundamentals. You understand that Sauti Sol is the government. We are now ambassadors. Me ni ambassador of foreign affairs, being ambassador wa nini, Polika ni ambassador wa music. So you understand, like, it's the beauty of everybody that brings the mojo. Alafu pia the solo career una realize pia, as you do your solo career una realize pia kuna vitu zingine ni hard. So the community kind of way of living was instilled in us from way back through our parents, through our community. Pale tume grow up. Biena me grow up Rongai. Me grow up Marish. Polycarp grew up in Kariobangi South. So the communal way of living, ilikuwa, we don't know any other way. So I'm happy that this happened at this time, because inge happen kitambo, maybe ningefura kichwa nione mimi ni mnoma, unajua. So sasa naelewa, I'm grounded.
That's amazing.
Time.
So time is everything.
The principle of time.
Everything in its own time.
Kabisa. Hakuna haraka.
Savara, you know, you've mentioned that you only know how to be living in a community, and that's your strength, because that's how you've been brought up. When you were working on Balance, did you go up to the other team members of Sauti Sol and you're like, you know what, I want to do this, I need your help, what are your thoughts? What were some of the reactions, the approval, what was the feedback?
The thing is, people don't know, but with all our individual projects,
yes,
we contributed to each other. Like even the songwriting in this album, BN contributed a lot.
That's beautiful.
Chimano contributed. Like I produced a lot of songs in their albums also. We understand huwezi changia kila kitu peke yake, and that's how you become monotonous.
Yes.
When you do everything alone, because like this album, I produced everything. But when it comes to songwriting, when it comes to different ideas, you understand everybody's strength.
Yes.
I know Polycarp's composition strength, you know. So stajifanya nata compose everything because it's me. Alafu, there are things that I always depend on my boys. So that really kept us grounded. Alafu, you have an idea, mtu anachangia, yani imekuwa tu ikakuwa easy kufanya album.
Of course.
Yeah, it wasn't hard. You know, when you try to do everything alone, unapata ngoma zako zina sound the same.
Yeah.
And you don't know, and nobody tells you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you've worked in you've performed in countless countries. You've performed in Europe, you've performed in places that I don't think any other Kenyan band or Kenyan artist has been to. So when you go out there and you get that feedback, you get that love, people are so warm to you, like how does it make you feel? Does it just sometimes you're wondering, is this even real?
Yeah, always. You feel butterflies, and every time we perform, you have to feel some kind of butterfly. And also it's a blessing. You realize too, it's not over yet.
Yeah, there's a long way to go.
There's a long way to go. There's so many countries I haven't visited. And it's just a blessing. And tuna grow. Kuna countries sijaenda like in Africa. Lesotho, there's so many countries. Benin, when I look at Francophone countries, there's so many countries I haven't gone to. So there's still more grounds to conquer. Na una live and learn. Una realize hii maisha unapeleka mtiti. Pole pole tu, alafu you grow as you learn. Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. You meet different cultures. You learn a lot. You realize a lot of different things. What makes us different? What makes us African? You go to European countries, you visit a lot of white people.
Yeah.
You realize different culture. You understand why black people are this way.
Music is a universal language.
No, it's crazy. It's crazy. So for me, it's a learning process every day. Yeah. Learning process every day. Una learn. Because we believe once you stop learning, you start dying.
And let's talk about Savara, growing up, your parents. When you told your parents that this is the journey, the life that you chose in terms of music, in terms of dance, what were some of the reactions?
For me, it wasn't that difficult because I've always been an A student, and I always know how to talk to them, and I was always a good person, a good student. But also I was cheeky na pia najua I have some ways I used to mess up every other day here and there. Lakini ilikuwa process, ilikuwa easy because in school pia nilikuwa nenda drama first, nenda music first, nafanya hizo vitu zote. But then still I aced my exams.
Wow.
People think like musicians are dumb and music is like a fallout kind of career.
Always a plan B.
A plan B. No, music is plan A, because when you look at most musicians, most artists, they're very intelligent. Most guitarists are mathematicians, We know how to... Music is numbers. People just think music is just unatoa tu hapo voice ati nini.
It's an inborn talent.
No. So when you apply that, and then I qualified for everything, ile nenda campus, sisumbui wazazi, ile tu wanaona tu, okay. And then the first time I'm traveling to Europe, I'm going to South Africa, I'm going to United States of America, it's through music.
Yeah,
not even my career, sijui ati what. I did finance.
Wow.
For example, yeah.
Okay.
But hiyo finance haikunipandisha ndege.
Oh yes.
Kitu ya kwanza nilipandisha ndege ilikuwa muziki. So through that process, even my mom and my dad, when I realized, wow, this guy has just gone abroad and lived there for a month because of music. So they also appreciate. Yeah, so I'm lucky to also have
support
parents who are very supportive and also pia mimi nilikuwa msee. Nilitry kujialign, sikukuwa mrui.
Really?
Yeah, sikuwa mrui. Nilitry as much as possible kuonesha. And also they also thought of the process music will keep you out of trouble.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, because I have friends who walikuja kwa kuwa sijui wezi, ama msee unapata he's very dope but mbaya. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but mimi mziki iliniweka grounded. Nilikuwa natoka home naambia mama, I'm going for a concert. And I realized, oh, that's better
than going out.
You're just in the hood,
yes,
chilling.
Yes.
So it was a psychic that I think my parents really understood at a very early age. And I'm thankful.
Yeah.
I'm lucky.
Yeah.
See what wako hivyo.
Blessed, yes.
Blessed, yeah.
Absolutely. Savara, let's talk about, the fact that you've mentioned, there's a few articles I've read, and they've said that balance was actually inspired by two very beautiful women in your life. Number one, your mother, and number two, the love of your life.
Yes.
Tell us more. Tell us why these two women are so important for you, because, a lot of people think that artists out here, they don't really have stable relationships, because of the nature of their work.
Yeah.
But when you have that lady luck, I think it takes you places, right? You can correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes, you have. Yeah, it takes you places and also it grounds you. And I'm lucky to have women in my life who've been so supportive. I've learned a lot from them on how to treat even other women. Like my mom, the way she supported me and the way her relationship with my father was really inspiring to me. They were very cordial. Ndio vitu za here and there. My mom alikuwa mkali sana, but kuna venye alini straighten. Ali decide, I don't have a lot of money, yes, but I'm going to take you to a private school. Aka sacrifice ananipeleka. Then I was like, this woman, and she was a fashion designer. Alafu alikuwa anafanya kazi Kariobangi market. So when I see how she used to work so hard for me, ndo maana nikafanya a song like Fashionista.
Yes.
Hiyo ni very inspiring to me kuona, mama amenishona. She's my original designer. So inaweza vaa easy hapa sijui ati what. Like when I look at my red thread, when I look at my DNA, she's the one who did it. So it's really inspiring kuona even a lady like Yvonne, who's in my life, na ameniweka stable for the longest time. There are things you don't play with. You don't play with your foundation. And I think so many people, that's where they make a mistake.
It's beautiful to see.
Yeah.
You post about your little dinners together.
Yeah.
I follow her as well, and
nice.
the things that she says. It's just beautiful to see how you're friends. And I feel like it's very important, especially being an artist, as you've mentioned, that you have to have a strong foundation. Because even if you go abroad for 2 months, 3 months, you have to come back home, right?
Yeah. You have to come back home to people who ground you.
Yeah.
And over time pia una realize all these things pia it's a facade.
Yes.
Utaenjoy lakini when the rubber meets the road, sale kuna trouble. When you're sick, mtu mwenye God forbid, mtu mwenye panguza huku umechoka ama umejiharia ama umefanya nini, it's the love of your life.
Okay.
Lakini wale wana ululate during times of happiness peke yake, will they be there? Yeah. So it's a matter of how you you measure your options. It's who you are and how you are raised. That's why I always say I'm lucky that nimereiziwa poa sana na thank you mama, ulinijenga sana.
How sweet. Savara, let's talk about your plans in future. What can we expect from you? You are only getting started as Savara. What can we expect from Savara the brand?
Yeah, Savara is just becoming this really global phenomenon, and I am a representation of culture, versatility, and I just want to be a part of my people and be able to be true to myself. I'm Savage. My album is called Savage Level. Savage Level is being able to understand yourself to a way that you can be able to articulate your lifestyle, articulate your friends, articulate everything around you, and be bold about it. Yes, ni kujijua tu. We've come of age. Africa, we've come of age. Sasa ni time ya kuji-announce na kusema we are here. So my future I don't like to always put a cap on say in the next 5 years I want to do this.
Right.
I'm just happy with the way things are going. I'm happy with the way the fans are engaging with my music, and there's so much happening na itakuja ku unfold. Even right now, I just met my team. I was for a 9-hour meeting with my team. Just planning.
It's hard work. Being a musician is hard work, especially big Savara from Sauti Sol. Senor.
Yes. And there's a lot. There's some business elements, business things that you have to put in place to be able to sustain for more than 10 years with Sauti Sol. It's not a joke. In business, you see people think to talanta ni because you know how to sing or you have a good voice. It's just going into a studio and busting a melody.
And that's it. Done. The work is over.
Wapi. No. There's creating a brand. Look at you, Shiksha. You've created your own brand.
Thank you very
work
much.
so hard. I see how you put in work. Under my Savages, and Savage Level is going to be leveling up every other day.
I love it. Any message as we wind up to your fans?
Message to my fans are, stay true to yourself, because I'm true to myself, and I hope you're going to be ready for my fire. The fire that's coming is on another level.
All right.
Na si ile ya hell, ni fire tu ingine yangu. Stay savage, stay woke, be real, tuende kazi.
All right, tuende kazi. And before we leave, we have to do the Omanyala challenge.
Oh, shout out to everybody who's vibing to that song. When I wrote that song, when I saw that guy.
And he's a savage, Omanyala.
He's savage.
Oh,
because in high school, I used to compete for the 100 meters. I was the fastest in high school. So I know what it means to run 100 meters. And to be at that level and to perform at that level, I'm saying him savage.
All right.
So this song I did for him. It's not for me. It's not for Mandy. It's not for Calligraph Jones.
It's a tribute to him.
Mio. It's a celebration of all savages who are available and working so hard to achieve their dreams. Let's go.
Koljax, I hope you have the track ready. All right, thumbs up from Koljax. So let's go.
Yeah.
We get started?
Unakumbuka?
Of course, I remember it.
Mbiuzo kingoni huishia kwa sakafu. Mimi kifunguka ni upepo nipati rada chafu. Nairobi ndo my city soka utapata udaku. Hapa na kusikiza the studio is like my tabernacle. Mistari kwangu kama atoti. Tupoteke kama Omanyala. Tunakimbiza kama Omanyala. Come on Omanyala. Go Omanyala. Tupoteke kama Omanyala. Tunakimbiza kama Wasema mbiuzo kingoni huishia kwa sakafu. Mimi kifunguka ni upepo nipati rada chafu. Nairobi ndo my city soka utapata udaku. Hapa na kusikiza the studio is like my tabernacle. Mistari kwangu kama atoti na Solomon. Na pea track mimba na njoti za Oregon. Wanani like then I must be a member. Adesanya with the kicks Mr. Last Day Abender. Omanyala jodala usema wololo. Jukwa barabara kwa tarasa asenyonolo. Staki form ya swara biashara utapigwa nyongolo. Auniaje Savara unaswala cause man we on the road. Omanyala, tupoteke kama Omanyala, tunakimbiza kama Omanyala. Come on Omanyala. Go Omanyala, tupoteke kama Omanyala, tunakimbiza kama Omanyala.
Toka fiaka, hini ya mataji wa geto mpaka si waka. Kata katikati mbele utanipata. Ebu niambie mbona basi unanifuata au unanitaka. Wananitanga fast body, sorry top striker. Ni tehari, yani conductor. Ongeza kasi, basi unarada. Mini kabaya sezi kosa ka
Omanyala jodala usema wololo. Jukwa barabara kwa tarasa asenyonolo. Staki form ya swara biashara utapigwa nyongolo. Auniaje Savara unaswala cause man we on the road. Omanyala, tupoteke kama Omanyala. Tunakimbiza kama Omanyala. Come on Omanyala. Go Omanyala. Tupoteke kama Omanyala. Tunakimbiza kama Omanyala.
Noma sana, nakimbiza ndo nishike bonge toka jana. Nituiumia mkurugenzo nita Omanyala. Nituyateke vena kuja na mapepe na vuruga. Minu waweke mtakutuka kanisonga sana. Inaonekana competition kimechoka bana. Kulimbe solo nyinko manyu jome songa mana. I lead you follow nyingo wanangu mnafahamu vena kamu sutia kwangu ikono tamu na imenoga sana tikitin. We bado ni picking in.
And of course with that it's a wrap. That was the Omanyala challenge. They need to do it.
Do Omanyala challenge, support your own. Manze amefanya great things. Pia utasupport you next time. Yeah, so do the challenge, do everything you can kusupport tu mse wetu Omanyala. I respect him, man. Shout out. By the way, he's out of the country. He just went to run 3 races again.
Okay.
Yeah, so Omanyala dance for our big person, big tune.
And that's it from us right here in studio. That's it of today's conversation. We'll do this again next week, same time, same place.
Yeah.
Make sure you're tuned in. The one and only Savara with Savage Level. Remember, great things coming up for the one and only Savara. So make sure that you follow his journey, follow him on social media, and just support the guy. Like his songs on YouTube, and just do what you can as a Kenyan listener supporting Kenyan talent. So yes, we'll do this again next week, same time, same place.
Sure.
So make sure you stay right here because Koljax on the other side has got some great music for you. It's time for Disco Funk. Shiksha Arora signing out.
Bye-bye.
Stay savage.
Savage, yeah.
Heri ukwe maskini lakini ukwe mzima.
Ukiwa na health mzuri, shukuru Mungu.
Some of them don't even understand the kind of sickness that they are suffering from. But thank you because through Mama here, we have seen the hand of God.
Nashukuru nilitibiwa.